Alright guys, I had a power surge, so I lost everything, but I just want to re-show or record this so you have that as a reference. So once you're ready for doing the electrical layout, alright, I got rid of my tags, my schedules, all of that stuff, so I cleaned up so it doesn't get super crowded. What I'm going to do is go to Insert. Then over here for content, I'm going to go to Design Center. All right. Now, if you don't pay attention, you might think nothing happens, but it pops up as this slim kind of toolbar here. If I put my cursor over it, then it'll expand. I'm just going to drag it over here so I have it as a reference. When you first open it, it will look like this, where you have AutoCAD architecture, you have global, imperial, metric. All right, I want to go into imperial, and then I'm going to go into design, then I'm going to go into electrical, and then I'm going to be using power and lighting. So power, I'm going to use receptacles and switches. Don't worry about circuit breakers, panels, junction boxes, that kind of stuff for now. So I'm going to go into switches. There are different switches. This is a single switch, just controls one thing at one location. Three-way controls it at 2 locations, and then 3 locations. And then you have a dimmer. Again, we're not going to worry about 3D models. So I can click. I'm just going to bring these over and place a couple of them. So the location I'm placing them for right now doesn't matter. Alright, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in receptacles. I'm going to bring in duplex and click to place. I'm going to bring in a 220. And then I'll leave quad receptacle will be optional. I'll bring one in just so you can see the different ones. And then I'm going to bring in, so I have receptacles, switches. I'm going to bring in lighting. I'm going to go incandescent. And then the only one I'm really going to worry about, well, I lied, 2 of them. I'm going to bring in a ceiling light. And then I'm going to bring in, I got to scroll down here, a wall mount. All right. I'm not going to worry about any of these that are 3D models. Again, I'm not worrying about the models. Things like floor lamps. If I was wiring a house, I am not going to have a floor lamp put into the plan, because that's just something you can move around. So, if I back out, see if I go. Yep, I just want to double check. LEDs are all kind of models. And I'm going to say fluorescent or more 2D. But unless you're in something industrial, you're probably not going to have fluorescent lights. All right, so I have all this stuff in. All right, I'm going to use these to bring in the different, make copies of these. So first, the easiest one, I'm going to bring in lights. So these are ceiling lights. We also brought in lights to do the rendering. What I'm going to do, because these are not physical objects, I'm going to, if I select just the one, and then I can do copy. And if I do my center point, I can place it right over top of the light that I actually have in. And then I can delete that. So now I just have the symbol for where my light in the ceiling would be. Because when you put a light in the room, you most likely put it on the ceiling. The wall mount lights. these would be like your entrances and exits. Again, I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to do copy. I'm going to put one outside my back door. I just want to make sure I get it even with the wall. Alright, so those are lights. For outlets, this is a single duplex outlet. This is going to be a 220, and this is basically your 4 plugs put together. So let's say I'm going to do a 221. I'm going to need a 220 for my dryer. Let's say I have an electric dryer. So I'm going to take it and I can rotate it. Then I'm going to copy, grab it by the front here. I'm going to put it beside my dryer. This would be my washer. Let's say my washer, I need just a regular outlet. So I'm going to use this one. So same thing, I'm going to make a copy. Bring this over, and then I'm going to rotate it. Again, I want to bring it up to the wall where it would be, not just kind of floating out in space. So that's outlets. Let me show you switches. So for like this exterior light, all right, inside my door, I'm going to have a couple sets of lights, or a couple sets of switches. So if I do copy, all right, then I'm not going to put the switch behind the door where it opens. So I'm going to place it on the side here. So this single switch is going to control this outside lamp. Let's say this light in the middle here. All right, I want to be able to turn it in as I come in from outside. Let's say I also want to be able to turn it on from coming in on the front side of the house. So if I'm going to control it from 2 locations, I'm going to use the 3-way switch. So I'm going to do copy. I'm going to place it right next to it. And I'm going to bring another one down here. And I'm going to rotate it and place it. All right, so right now I just have switches, I have lights, but I want to be able to tell which switch is controlling which light, because right now it's just telling me there's a switch, but not what it goes to or what it connects to. So for those, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here to layer properties, and then I'm going to click this button right here for a new layer. I'm going to call it wires. You can call it wires, or here, I'll do electrical. Oh, helps if I actually spell it. I'm going to pick a color by clicking on this block. I'm going to do dark blue. All right. So right now, then I'll go here, and I can go down to my electrical. And then to show the connection between them, I'm going to use a spline. So a spline basically is a curved line that will bend wherever you're making your connections. So if I want this switch to be controlled, to control this light, so if I click to attach, all right, the exact path doesn't really matter. This is just to illustrate that this switch is linked and compared with this light. For this light in the middle, let's say I have multiple in here. Let me add another one. I'll just bring this in. Say I put one over here. I can do spline again. I'm going to connect from these two lights. I'm going to show it's also connected to this switch. I can connect there. All right, so this is showing me that this switch and this switch then controls these two lights. And if I want to change the path a little bit, I can. All right. If you would have a switched outlet, so let's say, let me bring this in. Nope, I want to select both parts. Go move, go here. All right, so let's say in this room I have an outlet and a switch that controls it. So if I want to show that this switch is turning this outlet on and off, the same basic thing. I'm going to do a spline. I'm going to connect. I'm going to connect to the outlet. All right. Try and avoid crisscrossing these paths over each other because it can get super confusing. All right, so that's how we're going to do the electrical. I'll finish laying all of mine out, and then I will post that as kind of a reference for you guys.